About today about clarity and swords. So I was thinking about, um, first of all, what I learned in my martial art practices, which is Neigong, which means internal work. But for the purpose of these videos, I'm just going to talk about the philosophy of it a bit. The inside sword. So what is the inside sword? Internally, there's a lot of noise. So what can you use to be able to cut through? So that you can keep your mind sharp and your mind focused on the right signal. When you think about it, these archetypes have been in a lot of different religions. It's ancient wisdom. And of course, we were using the sword to, the person that had a sword had power, had the authority, had potential to kill or to, make people listen to them. But to use the sword and put them on us is also, I think, quite a metaphor. And it all came because I was helping somebody negotiate something lately. And the guy had problem with um, normal communication, you know, just not normal communication, but negotiation in communication. So if he would be manipulated a bit by the other party, he would just want to burn everything and see how warm it gets. And throughout the month that I was helping him to prime him in his communication, by the way, it's not over yet. The negotiation is not made, but there was a big breakthrough in how he approached it. Before he was talking about the noise, so he was bringing more things on the table that was necessary, and conversation were heavier. After a while, the breakthrough he had, I think, is like, hey, we're all trying to give ourselves, like, to give each other bad intention. What about I flip it and I'm trying to give good intention to people? And what it actually did is that now he has no problem being way more assertive into what he wants or into where the negotiation is now. So, um, right now, my philosophy is where can I have the biggest impact with the things that are right in front of me? Because I've been planning a lot of things for so long, and I'm like, you know what? What's in the now? How can I make it better? So, and I'm also working on my communications. So, to come back to the inside sword, because I think it's kind of the same thing. If you're just, if you can have values that are really clear, um, it's a great thing. But in all creation or in all new things that we learn, most of the time, how we do it, because like it's the first time that we're going to get to a subject, and it could be any subject, right? It could be an enterprise, it could be in different things. So I tend to go and get a lot of information everywhere, and after it gets busy. Let's say in negotiation, it would be using tactics, strategies and tactics and this and that. Of course, when you're not accustomed to a good framework, you need to have all of these strategies and tactic. But after a while, when you're able to witness it and to cut through the noise, well, you can redefine your framework so that it gets more efficient or it gets to be more authentic with yourself. So I think it's a great analogy of, cleaning up, basically. Because sometimes we just, what we do, we perceive the world a certain way, and after, well, we think that it's outside of ourselves, and it's not really, it's not our illusions or our filters, our traumas, life experience, environment, and everything that shows that particular way of doing things, right? So I'm going to adopt this in my philosophy from now on because it's already been this. So how can you take a concept and then it complexifies because there's a lot of things, a lot of people put a lot of their own little input on it, and you don't have the capacity yet to distinguish what is good and what is bad, what is true and what is false. So you need to take a lot of that information And after, experientially, you're going to understand what you need to keep and what you need to let go. So it's really in action and in these experimentations that you can actually know what works and what not, right? It's actually by thinking very profoundly about something while being in the world and continuing to work that you can actually say, okay, yeah, this is useful, this is not useful, this was too much, and we need to recalibrate one way or another. Now I want to come back to the inside sword. In Taoism, the sword was seen as a gentleman's weapon. You can also, in Christianity, there is like the sword of Michael, right? That cuts through the bullshit. Same thing in Buddhism. So, and probably same thing in all of the different societies that we are in. I've had the privilege to work with a sword very often. It's really fun, um, and also to yield the inside sword in my practice, which is also very fun. Very good meditations. Um, so yeah, that's my take for today.